This is the backyard home builders communities. That's another series of Bedini motors. A ring of infinity. It has been a while known to us as the rodent maths, represent in a full 360 circles. Every 30 degrees, there is a systematic 369, which held as a primary. You can see the triangle or a macabre one there, which is 120 degrees apart, which make up the full circle. 369 systematically has been marked with the orange lines. The rest of the rodent math sequence, with the full potential of approaching infinity, if you observe closely, if you spin the rodent patterns, in this setting, the center always remains a vacuum. This is the typical. This is an instance of this type of hardware. However different they may be, there's always an empty space right at its heart. They are created to generate magnetical fields. They are created to generate potential difference. So you may carry out you might carry out your work on a heavy duty load, which may be a motor generator, a vehicle, etc., or you may in a job of stepping up, stepping down currents, or you might be in a job of inductions that you might need to apply induction on your task. That's another instance. Interestingly, they held a primary and secondary relationship, which is, if you provide the primary, you would instantly, automatically obtain the secondary. Primary and the secondaries. A backyard home builder has applied this principle for a while, that they take advantage of the natural pathways. I forgot my resistor, but if you would imagine if you may imagine a resistor in a circumstances that perhaps you are in a difficult situation, perhaps you are in an extreme accident, or something catch you by surprise that you just happen to do not have all your fancy little toy, your hardware, your frequency generator. You have nothing. You are empty-handed. You absolutely have nothing. You are reduced down to a value of a resistors. There's nothing that in you that could make a difference. Can you, in such an extreme situation, make a difference? Remember that your flesh and bone is nothing more than just a resistor. What can a resistor do? Even though you have the knowledge of great power within you, so what's the worth of you? You are reduced down to zero, nothing. You are just a resistor. So we will look into a case of the power of a single individual resistors. Backyard home builders know this for generation after generations, that the relationships of AC current and DC currents, when in an instance that they are unified. The following diagrams describe the moments of both DC currents, but in a creative settings, both DC currents is instructed to go there. Both direct current is instructed to go their equal and opposite directions. If you observe the intersections closely, that a alternating current is described in here. For now, for this moment, it remains a series. You provide two loops of DC current. In the instance of unification, would or would not a alternating current present in these circumstances, even though you instruct hardware to go their reverse and counter direction, which is clockwise and anti-clockwise. Another instance, a circle, much like a water molecule, set plus minus minus or minus plus plus. So would statements that AC and DC held in a unified fashions that a lot of the existence created in such a manner that both worlds are instructed as both world has been united as one. So, with this in mind, that you can obtain the natural pathway freely, whenever you want it, however you want it, wherever you want it. The advantage of is that you only need the value of a single. It would only cost you a single resistor, in a term that it will cost you nothing. So this is a normal converter to convert AC into DC. That some diode is used, but in this instance, you prove a theory. You want to prove a theory that AC and DC are interchanged. That by replacing the diode, you simply put resistor where they should, as if they are diode. Would or would not a AC current turn out into a DC current in such a setting? Remember that they are not a diode. They will not restrict electricity to go one way. And another instance is simply saying that a thicker line represents low resistance, the thinner wire represents a high resistance. Which low or high resistance pathways electricity would choose? So, another instance, you're given a length of wires. You provide a percentual difference, a meaningful percentual difference. You apply DC current at each end. Will or will not, in a state of direct current, will not an alternate current exist? Will or will not electricity go go an alternating pathway to automatically connect the positive, negative, negative, positive, positive, negatives, and go back to its source. So, in your heart, that if you are a technician, if you are a scientist, you know damn well that you do not need your frequency generator. Single-handedly, you know that the energy is present. So, the last theory has been a very, very interesting one. We will look into it and we will power up some hardware. So, the theory may be a very, very simple one. A alternating current exists in a state of DC, but the underlying principles is extremely profound. Given a length of DC currents, we will look into a case that will not alternating current exist in a state of direct current. So this is precisely this. The wire, the thicker line represents a low resistance pathway. A two thinner lines suggest an alternating pathway that electrons might take. In between is the distance, is the length, that in theory an alternating current should exist. The advantage of this circuit diagram is that it will cost you nothings in terms of control. Everything else is provided as a natural pathway freely, which will cost you absolutely nothing. So, we will have a power supply. We will produce a meaningful potential difference in DC, which a meaningful potential difference is 100 volt of DC. So 100 volt of DC, you better check connections. This type of hardware is a small hazard if you are not careful. So in a state of direct current, shit, I blew it. That happened 1 in a million that we will, oh great. Ta-da! In the state of direct current, presence is found and in between them is a alternating current exists. And I double check the connection. Nothing is short circuit very well. So it's a very interesting world that you never be alone and by yourselves, which that's the energy and the unified source of creation, which points to the number one, has been like the Latin word Emmanuel, God be with you.